Will injection foam cause drywall to crack? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Foam University. Today we're going to address the question, will using injection foam crack my drywall? Before we get into that too much, please go below, make that thumbs up blue. I really appreciate it. Now, keep in mind, when you're using an experienced contractor, this sort of thing rarely happens. However, since it is always possible, let's dig into it a little bit. If you're looking to get injection foam and you're worried, hey, I've heard some horror stories, can this crack all the walls inside the house? The fact is that possibility is always going to be present. That's just the way it is. When you're working with injection foam, it is a blind process. You do rely a lot on muscle memory, on experience, and little things like that to help when you're pulling out that hose, when you're working that pressure to make sure that you're properly filling the cavity to capacity, but you're not overfilling it. So keep in mind that possibility is always there. And there's a lot of things that play into this. And that's whether you have drywall, plaster, paneling, tongue and groove, whatever's on the inside of the house. Doesn't make a difference. That possibility is always going to be there. Keep in mind also, it really depends on how that interior is applied and adhered to the wall. A lot of times if drywall is just glued on, or if tongue and groove is really loose, or if paneling might just be stapled on, something like that, just keep in mind that's always going to be a factor in how secure that inside layer is to the wall itself. Now, it's also, like I said, muscle memory and experience is going to be key. So it's important to have a contractor who's been doing injection foam specifically for a long time, and that foreman knows exactly what they're doing. They know how to put the hose in to make sure it goes all the way to the top and the bottom, that they can feel that back pressure. Once that cavity starts to fill up and they get that back pressure on the hose and it starts to tighten up and shift a little bit, they know to bring the hose out maybe a little bit faster or a little bit slower, because again, you want to make sure you get that completely full. So that will be a big thing to consider when you're looking at contractors who has been doing this for a long time. Are there foremen's full-time employees, that sort of thing. So that experience is going to be a big factor. At the end of the day, like I said, since that is always a possibility for drywall or something to get damaged, it's important that you trust your contractor. And if you want to have that conversation about what ifs up front, go ahead, don't be afraid to ask that. It's your home. Now keep in mind, when you're using an experienced contractor, this sort of thing rarely happens. But again, that's why it's good to know that you're using a contractor that you trust and is credible, so that if something, although very rare, were to happen, you know they're there to support you. If you want to learn more about the potential of injection foam cracking drywall, click the link below. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel, ring that bell to see all of our notifications.